on our website, and this will also be posted on our newsletter, and so you can see it for future reference. So I will turn it over to Grace and Pat, and they will discuss the local program and the veteran-owned business program. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go right into our topic today. We are going to talk about the local small business reserve program and veteran-owned business program, only because if you are a veteran-owned business, you have to also be located in Montgomery County to be able to get the 5 points that's allocated for this preference. So a lot of people may already know that the county has a local small business reserve program. We have had this program since 2006. This is for all the contracts that are under $10 million. And if your office, the principal place of your business is located in Montgomery County, then you would be qualified as a local small business of Montgomery County. Then you should go, when you are in our vendor registration system, make sure you get certified as a LSBRP, Local Small Business Reserve Program certified vendor. Then once you have that certification, you will be able to benefit a lot. One of the benefit is some of the solicitations we issue are reserved only for certified LSBRP vendors, and all the county departments are required to spend at least 25% of their annual spending toward the LSBRP. Also, if you have looked at our informal solicitations, these are the solicitations that are over $10,000 and below $100,000. Those since 2021, April, the county executive and our director has required all informal solicitations to be issued under the LSBRP first time around. So we try to reserve as many opportunities as possible for the local small business to compete against among themselves before, if we don't have enough competition or not qualified vendors submitting proposals, then we will cancel that LSBRP solicitation and reissue it open to everybody. So again, the ownership needs to be owned by a local, it's an independently owned business. It cannot be a subsidiary of any other larger businesses. In terms of location, the physical business location, principal place of business needs to be in Montgomery County. If you have multiple locations in the DMV area, then the Montgomery County location office needs to either host more than 50% of your employees or generates more than 50% of your revenue. That's when we do our investigation, we do site visit, we do interviews to make sure that the physical location you have in Montgomery County is qualified as your principal place of business. Then you will be able to get the certification. In terms of small, our size limit is actually quite lenient. So for example, if you are in the services, then you can have up to either up to 100 employees or generates up to $10 million in the past 3-year average. So it's not, it can be, of course, you can be a sole proprietor, just one person, and only generate maybe last year $60,000. That's also qualified. These numbers are the ceilings, not the floors. So we do have try to make the pot bigger to give you some more limit in terms of the size. And again, the veteran-owned business preference program is built on top of the LSBRP program. So only when you have a certification both in the LSBRP program as well as veteran-owned business program certification, then you will receive that 5%. I'm gonna transfer this to Pat. Pat is the program specialist in our division, and she is managing the veteran-owned business preference program, as well as the main contact person for our vendor registration system. Thank you. Pat?
Yes, good morning. Thank you all for joining us. The Veteran-Owned Business Preference Program is fairly straightforward. The Montgomery County Council passed in 2024 legislation to put this into place under the LSBRP program. And it is designed to give veteran-owned businesses located in the county a leg up in doing business with the county. So as long as you are a verified veteran-owned business, you will receive additional evaluation points on your proposals worth 5% of the total available points. So for any eligible solicitations. So if the total evaluation points is 100, you'll receive 5 extra points. And sometimes that can make a big difference. Only vendors, as Grace mentioned, only vendors that have both the LSBRP certification and a valid veteran-owned or service-disabled veteran-owned business certification in our CVRS will be eligible for these points. So please be sure that you complete your application for the program. It's best to do it prior to the due date and time of the solicitation. If you need any support in figuring out how to go about it, I'm here to help. But basically, what you need to do is you log into the CVRS, into your vendor profile. There's a section called Business Classification Certifications, which Grace is going to demonstrate in a few minutes. And then you would upload your SBA certification letter. You can go to the next slide, Grace. Currently, we only accept the certification from the SBA, and there is a database. If you're uncertain, I mean, you can always do a search on their VetCert database. That's how we verify your status. So you would submit your letter to us, your approval letter, but we will always go into this database and verify your status. So you can go to their website also to register. If you need assistance with that, then please contact the SBA. We can't help you apply for the certification from SBA, but we can help you upload that and verify it once you have attained it. You can go to the next slide, Grace. So just a few tips for success, or to summarize, all of the applications for LSBRP and VBPP need to be completed through the CVRS portal. Once you've done that, you're good to go in terms of then moving on to looking for opportunities to do business with the county and to benefit from those programs. And it's better if you gather the required documents in advance to speed up your application process, and make sure that you answer all the questions and submit all the required documentation. This will avoid delays or denial of your application. I can't tell you how many times I have to send requests for additional information for people who've applied for these programs, and it will really help speed up the process if you just read the requirements carefully and upload everything that's requested. If you have a home office, you still need to we still need to verify that your business is located in the county. One of the most often requests for additional information I send out is people who have a home office. Then you need to upload a lease, a mortgage statement, something that shows us that your business location is in the county. And then make sure that feel free to follow up with us if you have submitted an application and you're wondering when it will be approved. But you can always also log on to your CVRS vendor profile to check the status of your certifications. Once it's approved, it will show it as active. And I think that's all you do need to either have it approved or at least submit the application for LSBRP before the proposal deadline. As long as your application is in the CVRS system by the time the proposal date and time deadline, then you will be okay and it will be reviewed along with your proposal. I'm going to turn it back over to Grace, who's going to just help you see where all of this is located in the CVRS.
Okay, thank you, Pat. So the link to the vendor registration system is here. Bethany, can you put this in the chat
Sure.
so people can access it? Before I show the website and the vendor registration site, I see that there is a question from Steve. Pat, we are veterans with Montgomery County for over 2 years. However, we have not received any contracts or subcontract opportunities for healthcare staffing or home healthcare services. How to get more visibility to or receive procurement opportunities? Pat, you want to answer that, and I can add?
Sure. Once you're registered in the CVR, I assume you're registered in the CVRS. So once you are registered in the CVRS and you've uploaded all the documents, if you're a local business or a veteran-owned business, be sure to complete those certification applications. Then the next step is really to monitor some of the solicitation opportunities. They're all listed on our procurement website. There is a solicitation tracker. You can also look at informal opportunities for IFBs, informal bids. And you can also upload a profile through our innovation portal, vendor innovation portal. This allows you to introduce yourself to some of the departments that are relevant. Sharonda might want to say a little bit more about that. But and definitely participate in events like this that we hold to get to know us better, get to know other vendors that you might want to partner with. But don't give up because you haven't won anything yet. It does take time and, just keep trying and take advantage of some of these opportunities to introduce yourself.
Thank you.
You want to say more about the vendor innovation portal?
Yeah, sure. I also want to share my screen. You can see the procurement website, right? So this is our procurement website. So the opportunities are all posted under our solicitations and contracts tab. You do want to come back here and check on it maybe once every other week to see any opportunities. For your specific industry, besides the formal solicitation, informal solicitation, I also want to make sure that you check on the open solicitations list. So once you click on this, you'll see informal solicitations. A lot of them are reserved under the LSBRP that we mentioned earlier. And then under the open solicitations, you do have a lot of healthcare services related solicitations out there. And by open solicitations, it means it doesn't have a due date. So they are always here. You can see we have quite a few listed. And these would be good opportunities for you to take a look at. However, like Pat mentioned, before you can get the participation preference points for veteran and local small business, you do want to make sure that you are certified in our vendor registration system, which I will show very briefly soon. Another thing that Pat mentioned earlier is under our vendor resources tab. For anybody who wants to use our VIP portal, which is the vendor innovation portal, to introduce yourself, you can come here and fill out your company's name and what you do. These will be sent to the correspondence departments that are relevant to your services on a monthly basis. And then in terms of our vendor registration system, the link that's in chat, which is our Montgomery County MD.gov, and then vendor registration. This will bring you to the site. When you are in the site, for some of you that's already registered with us, then you just need to go access your account. But if you have not registered with us, then make sure you create an account first. It will ask for your email address. It will ask you to verify your email address, and then you can create a logon and password. Your logon will be your email address, and you create a password, then you'll have an account with us. So I already have an account. I will go to access your account. Then your logon ID should be populated. Then after you sign in, you can register a new vendor. One person can have multiple different businesses. Like these are all just made up companies for testing and demonstration purposes under my name. So you can create a new vendor for your business. If you had an old logon with us with our legacy system prior to September of 2024, we probably already have your vendor profile. Then you want to do a link vendor profile and try to find your old account with us. But in this case, let's say I already have an account. I want to my Grace Construction profile. Now I have a veteran-owned services certification from SBA, and this is the company I want to register under. Then I would go into my vendor profile and go to the business classification certification section and click on this edit button. Under here, you will get a chance to either get certified as a local small business, or as a MFD business, or as a veteran-owned business. I did submit these two before. They are pending for review by the Office of Procurement. So once they are approved by the Office of Procurement, the status will become active. So in this case, I want to come to under the veteran-owned business program and do apply. Then let's say if I'm both service disabled veteran and veteran-owned, I have both certification from SBA. Then you want to check on both and then say I got it from SBA. Another certifying agency was the Veteran Affairs in their legacy system. Now all the certification are coming from SBA. And then you want to upload a document. I'm gonna just find a markup document. And then you want to put in your the expiration date on that letter. This is for my disabled service disabled veteran-owned certification, and this is for my other certification, which is just veteran-owned. I'll mark up a number. The date is the same in this case. You can put some comments on there if you want to just let the reviewer know anything, and then you just say submit. Then this application will be going onto the queue for review by the program manager. In this case is Pat. Then once you receive the approval, you will receive an email confirmation, and when you log back in here, you will see your status become active. Pat, do you want to add anything in terms of the vendor registration site?
No, I think that pretty much covers it, Grace. Thanks.
Okay. And another thing here is this is also a vendor search portal. If you are a prime contractor and looking for local, small, or minority-owned subcontractors, you can also come here and do a vendor search. You can check on any of the categories that you are looking for specifically, or just not check anything and just find people under a particular commodity code. Like NIGP code. Of course, these are 5-digit numbers that you may not know by heart. So what you can do is just to type in a keyword. For example, food, or if let's say if I want to look for some catering services people or provide food for my company, then you can come here and look for. You can even find dog food, cat food, fish food. So you can select the one that you are looking for. Let's say food frozen. You can continue to do this until you find all the things that's related to food or food distribution services. Or let's say also maybe catering. Then when you do catering, you'll see this one. So if that's all I want to look for, then when you do search, you will get a list of vendors down here to show you some companies that you can look for. These are the company. This one, Drink More, is already certified by us as a local small business and local business. And this company, although they are in Silver Spring, but looks like they haven't applied for any certification. I would recommend anybody with a Montgomery County local address to apply for our local small business certification so that you can benefit from our programs. Another thing is under the FAQs, we do have a user guide. This is actually, let me go to the, this is the development website. If you go to the live website, under the FAQ, you'll see a user guide, how to use this system under here. And it will give you step-by-step and screenshots in terms of how to get registered, how to link to your profiles, and also how to submit certification applications. So that's our vendor registration system. Pat, do you have anything to add in terms of our website? Or Bethany?
No, I don't have anything. I would just say to subscribe to our newsletter if you're not already getting our newsletter. And you can get to that on the vendor resource page, on this page. And then there's a link to sign up. there's also a link to sign up on, it's under other resources. The last tab or the last link is subscribe to our weekly newsletter. That would be my recommendation in terms of keeping up with Office of Procurement related emails.
And we also have some how-to videos here. All of these open houses that we recorded and some other events that we conducted before, as long as we recorded them, then they are all posted here under our videos, how-to videos. So that's some things that you can take a look at when you have time. Okay, so I do want to reserve some time for Q&A. Do we have any Q&A in the chat?
I don't see any questions that were not already answered in the chat. But if
Okay.
anyone, if you'd like to unmute yourself and ask your question.
Okay. Meanwhile, we can open up the floor and let the vendors introduce themselves. Please let us know what you do. And if you have any question, you can also ask your question.
This is Pat. Just to add that we currently have 73 businesses that are registered as veteran-owned, and we would love to have many, many more. So if you are veteran-owned, please, it only takes a few minutes, literally, to submit this application, and you'll get it approved fairly quickly. So encourage you to take advantage of this program.
Thank you. Is there any vendors who want to introduce themselves? You can say your name, your business. Oh, I see, Steve, you have your hands raised.
Yes, good morning. Thank you very much for this great presentation. I think that is what we was looking for as a resident in Montgomery County. I've been expecting this. There was a lot of resources. Let me introduce myself. My name is Steve Chupe. I'm a service-disabled veteran. I own a home care and home health care company. So we do staffing and complex care at home. We are also a VA community network provider. So we assist all veterans because we have a contract with the VA to provide at no cost homemakers and home health aid for them. So that is a huge opportunity for us because we have been trying to be in touch with the procurement office about how to get more, we have the services, we have the staff, but the people who need the service don't know about us. So that is why I take advantage. I'm very proud of this opportunity that you're just bringing out. I would like to know if this is a recurrent meeting or do we plan to do it? A lot of resources were shared. I know I was already registered as I asked the question, but I want to know if there's other opportunities that is coming up like this to be interacting with the procurement office. Thank you.
Yes, Steve. So like I showed earlier on our website, we post all of our solicitations there, and you will have to respond to our solicitations and submit proposals for us to be able to contract with you. I would say, again, just check that solicitation link, check all the formal solicitations, informal and open solicitations, all those lists, once every other week. At the least. I see Patrick has a question. I'm a veteran, but I don't live in Montgomery County. Can I still register as a veteran-owned business without the credit points? Yes, you certainly can. For the veteran certification, as long as you have a SBA certification, we will register you as a veteran-owned business. It's just right now, that 5 points is only allocated for local small business reserved solicitations. So you won't receive that if you are not in Montgomery County. I see another question. Can you please show us how to utilize the green button on the vendor portal called Link Vendor Profile? Yes, we can do that. Let's see. So this is for people who had a old profile with us. You probably was a vendor with us years ago and haven't been really doing much with us. Since 2024 September, we moved our vendor registration from the old CVR system to this new system. So if you had your account with us years ago, and now you come back here and then try to find your old account information, then number one, you would be a new user for this new site. Then you would need to create a new account first instead of going in to access your account. So you would click on create a new account and then put your email address in there and then click on the send verification code and check your email and come back and put a verification code in there. Once the email address is verified, then you can put in your password, first name, last name, address. That's all we need for creating an account on this website. Once that is done, then you should be able to access your account and use the email address you just used and the password you just created when you are doing the meeting. Let me see. Probably because I was in that creating site. Let me see if I can redo it. Let me see if I can get in here. It doesn't know my email anymore. Let me try to correct the email. Maybe 1 sec, sorry. This is actually a good exercise if in case you forgot. I'm going into my email and find my code for the password. So I won't change it. Now, I'm in the website where I had my couple entities or businesses under my name. So for your question, if you had an old company registered with us years ago, instead of registering a new vendor, in fact, if you try to register as a new vendor, eventually when you start typing in the same information like the tax ID number, the system will tell you that we already have your profile. You have to go back and link to your profile instead of creating a new vendor. So when you do the link vendor profile, it will ask you your old vendor ID in that old system, which was we called it CVRS ID or vendor ID, if you remember it. And then the VIN number was the password that you used to use to get onto that website. Let's say if you forget all of these, you don't have any of this, then you want to click on Forgot Vendor ID, VIN number. And here it will ask for your tax ID for your company. Then you put that in there. It's a 9-digit number. And then you also need the email address that you had with that old system. And also, this is the tricky part. You do have to have access to this email so that when they send a code to this email, you will be able to come back and use that code. Let's say if at this point, if you're stuck where the email address was your admin person who was with you and now they're gone, and you don't have access to that email, then that's when you will need to contact this address, which is our finance department, who has your old tax ID matching your company business account. Then they will have to help you from there on. On the other hand, let's say if you know the tax ID and you also have the email address, once you put in here, when you do submit, then this email address will receive your the VIN number and ID that you will need to use to log back in here. So that's how to use this link vendor profile. I see Narila, you have your hand up.
Yes, thank you. Yes, my name is Nariela. I just want to say thank you for everybody for the great presentation. It's my first time to just join this meeting, and I would like to continue learning about all this benefit for the programs.
Yeah, thank you. We do this every month on the third Wednesday, so you can register with us through our website and come join us.
Thank you.
Mauricio?
You hear me?
Yes.
Hi, good morning.
Good
Thanks
morning.
thanks for permitting me being here. My name is Mauricio. I'm the owner of International Integrated Services, MDLLC. We are on the heart of Montgomery Village Business Center. So thanks for all. We provide notary service, translation in Spanish, English, interpreters for the court, public institution, accurate experience that we have about my old employee in Central America. So we provide delivery, legal documents. We support all the kind of business. We like to work together with a couple of business, handling document legals, process services. We are not lawyers, so we can't give legal advice, just administrative support. So we are here learning, and thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you. Yes, we do have those contracts for interpretations. The opportunities, again, will be under the solicitation and contracts, under formal and informal open solicitations. We have different departments actually use those services. You can definitely take a look. Of course, these solicitations won't be there all the time. That's why you should check on a maybe weekly basis, just to make sure that you don't miss any opportunities that we post.
So we have some questions in the chat. On your past presentation video library, do you have videos that can assist new vendors to navigate the requirements of a new solicitation? Essentially, do you have videos that can help with solicitation response?
We do not. Actually, procurement office will not be able to help you in terms of how to write your proposals. We our function is to tell you where the opportunity is and how the process works. But how to write a good proposal, we can only tell you from our requirement point of view. We do have under our videos, I believe we have a video by Melissa actually talking about how to write a good proposal and what kind of requirements we have. But we will not be able to help you specifically on writing or coming up with a proposal. So here we have how to write an effective proposal that you can take a look.
Thank you. And then we have a question. It says, I was able to access my account in the portal, but I cannot upload my renewed certificate.
Yeah, just for all of the specific help questions, if you're experiencing any difficulty with the CVRS or, uploading or changing something, please send me an email. Be sure that you have the full business name in your email and your signature line, or also if you have your CVRS ID, that always is helpful but not required. But yeah, I will respond to your email, and also if needed, I can set up one-on-one virtual consultations to walk through stuff with you. But it's often something we can resolve pretty quickly. So I put my email in the chat. It's also on the last slide.
Thank you. Do we have any additional questions?
Yeah, I'll put my email address in the chat, which is grace.dental@montgomerycountymd.gov.
Excuse me, I have a quick question. I saw in the presentation about the requirement for the minimum employee. But I couldn't understand clearly this part. For qualify for this kind of what is the minimum or employee that we're supposed to have to
You can be one
qualify?
person. You can be a sole proprietor.
So
To qualify as a local small business, you can have one up to 100 employees for services.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, thank you. My next question is, I see like they have some qualification to minority female. How I can find out the requirement for that specific?
Yeah. So that is our MFD program. Number one, you can probably find a video from our vendor resources on the MFD program, or we have the website here. I'll put the link in here. Basically, that is a subcontracting program where we require most of our big contracts, prime contractors, to have to bring in minority or female-owned businesses as subcontractors. And each contract has a subcontracting goal. For example, services, professional services, the goal is 25%. Meaning if we are giving $1 million to a contractor, they are supposed to come in with 25% of that going to MFD subcontractors. So for you, if you want to be one of these subcontractors, you need to have a certification from one of the 6 certifying agencies that we accept, including the most popular one was issued by MDOT. But now I believe the Department of Transportation in Maryland has moved this to the Department of Economic and Social Mobility. That's a different department, but they are still giving out the same MBE and WBE certificates. Those are minority business enterprise or women-owned business enterprise certificates. So as long as you have one of those certificates that we accept, then you are qualified as a MFD subcontractor. So for there are quite a few different ways to become a subcontractor. Of course, you need to make connections with any of these prime contractors. You need to make connections with them in vendor events. We do facilitate a vendor event every spring. Bethany, this year is going to be in April or May.
April 22nd.
Yeah. So we will have our prime contractors there. Then all the minority-owned, business-owned, certified businesses can go to that event and talk to the prime contractors. And also you can connect with them through our pre-bid conferences or just through other vendor events. Then when they are responding to any solicitations, either issued by us or by the state or by other counties, then they will bring you as a minority-owned business to fulfill the subcontracting requirements that we have. Almost all the public entities would have this requirement.
Well, thank you for the information.
You're welcome. I'll put the link to this webpage about the MFD program in the chat.
And Grace, we have a question in the chat. Is there a way to receive a solicitation notifications by email based on our selected NIGP commodity services in the CVRS portal? I currently receive similar notifications through Emma, but not through CVRS.
Sharonda, are you able to answer this question?
Sure. So we do send notifications of our solicitations. We match the vendors with NIGP codes that the issuing department identifies as closely resembling the goods and services that the solicitation is created for better, simple terms. I would recommend that if you're in CVRS and you have one commodity code, to go back into the system and add as many that closely relate to what you offer. So do a full search, add as many as you can. I will add a link here because on our projections page, we do offer the commodity code that we will advertise for that solicitation. So if you look on projections, you'll see on the very last column the NIGP code that we will use to notify vendors. So if there's an opportunity that is of interest to you, make sure that your vendor profile has that commodity code tied to it. So the more commodity codes you associate with your vendor profile, the better of being notified of any opportunity that we have coming forward.
Thank you. And we have one more question. It says, it seems you have to pay a fee to access the offerings. I think that might be referring to BidNet.
Yeah, we do not. Yeah, go ahead, Sharonda.
Sorry. Okay, I'll address that as well. BidNet does have a funding structure to make money, but our solicitations do not require you to purchase anything. There's a limited, I believe it's called limited option. When you sign up, you're going to select that. They will automatically check something for you. Just uncheck everything so that it always sets to 0. You do not need to pay to access any Montgomery County solicitations. If you want to see others, that may be where the charge comes in, but you do not need that for Montgomery County. If you have any questions or if you're running into any issues with that, I'll put my email address here and you can reach out to me and I can help you with that.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining us today. We appreciate you attending our event. As a reminder, we have the online open house every third Wednesday from 10 to 11 a.m. on Zoom. Our next open house will be on February 18th, and the topic is what to consider when responding to an RFP. So that might be helpful for whoever asked a question about how to respond to solicitations. Thank you all for joining us. This presentation will be posted on our website. If you go to the homepage and you go to the Outreach and Events tab, we will post it on there as soon as we can get it uploaded. So the PowerPoint and the recording will be posted on the website. And then I'll also include a link to that in our newsletter, which I usually send out on Fridays. All right, we'll have a wonderful day. Stay warm, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Have a nice day.
Thank you.